We are Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing programs beyond the Walking Dead universe. Sometimes we give you news, sometimes we make you laugh, most times we go deep. I'm your host, David Cameo, and I'm joined by...
Me, CosmoMom09. I had to unmute. Sorry.
And Bridget, you can find me at youtube.com/@PunkyBrewster. That's PUNKYBRUISETER.
And today we are here, back again, twice a week, to discuss Revival on the Sci-Fi Network, which you can find on Peacock, Sci-Fi's channel if you still have cable. You can actually go to syfy.com, syfy.com/revival and watch it for free. I guess if you're in the United States, maybe abroad. Let us know if that's even the case. And I think there's one more spot, well, like video on demand, depending if you're streaming it on some sort of streamable TV service. Who knows? Anyway, we're your friends, Dave, Rachel, and Bridget. And we're here to
That's
talk
like
about...
the
what?
new version of cable, video on demand.
No, it's just every cable service has a video on demand service, whether it's on the cable box or you can watch it on the web. There you
Who
go.
still has cable?
Many people still have cable. More than half the...
Well, to be fair, it's cheaper now than
It's getting there, yeah.
paying for 80s streaming services.
And speaking of cheaper, it's twice a week we're talking about Revival on Sci-Fi Network. The second episode is the one we're talking about today, and it's titled Keeping Up Appearances, which we're going to do twice a week until we catch up. Probably, maybe. In any case, I don't think we have any housekeeping to talk about between 2 days ago and today, but I'm very happy that we've gotten quite the reception when it comes to this show from fellow creators and also the creators of the show. It's been really nice getting some feedback from them and some love. We're talking about, what was it? Luke. Let me actually get their names. They're the writers, creators, showrunners of the show. And it is...
Don't screw this up, Dave.
Yeah, Luke Boyce and Aaron B. Kuntz. As well as, I think it's Luke Boyce's wife. I think it's Carrie Boyce, I think her name is. Just totally boosting up the show. Like, most supportive wife ever. Which I thought was kind of
Love
cool.
that.
Yeah, I love that for all
That's
of us. There's some really hardcore Winona Earp accounts, by the way, that follow Revival, too. Which I think is
Makes
very,
sense.
very
It's
interesting.
a good show, Dave. It was a good show.
So, you know what? I feel like we missed the boat. And feel like I wasted a little of our time talking about Melanie Scrofino or Fano. Man, I always
Fano.
get... It's Fano, right? Because it sounds incredibly talented.
She is.
It's like, oh yeah, she used to be a that girl. And now she's more than just that, it feels like, at this point.
She's no longer that girl.
No
She
longer.
will always be Mrs. McMurray, and that's okay.
I agree. But I guess we should be respectful for the talent.
Well, yeah.
Like being more than just... It's like saying Stephen Yun, it will just be Glenn. Like, no, he was great.
No, I didn't say just be. I just said will always be. Stephen Yeun will
Yeah.
always be
Glenn Rhee on The Walking Dead.
So, good comparison?
I guess, but, you know,
Good job?
kind of like, I don't want to minimize...
Question
You know
mark?
you know when it comes to, like, minimizing somebody just for that one role, like pigeonholing them?
You're taking it wrong. You're taking it all wrong. I'm not
think Dave-
minimalizing anything.
You
Dave
called...
just
Did you
doesn't
just say I'm wrong about
realize-
something?
I did.
Yeah,
Does
Here's
not
why you're
compute.
wrong.
Anyway, let's talk about this episode. Keeping Up Appearances. This is the title. And you know what's coming, Rachel. This mother again. How does the title relate to this episode, Rachel?
Keeping up appearances. Well, the most obvious answer, of course, is M. Right? She figured out pretty quickly, excuse me, she figured out pretty quickly that she was a reviver, but she kept up appearances, pretending that she was not until she couldn't pretend anymore. And her sister found out.
Very in the most
Now-
unconventional way.
Yeah. And now weird rocker sideshow dude
Rhodey.
Why does he simultaneously look like he's 40 and 15? It's like
15 and 45.
So,
all at the
it
same
makes me
time.
so uncomfortable. And I was looking at him like, why? What are you?
He looks like Dave if he lost a lot of weight and wore a wig.
What?
He's 46.
No.
Who said that?
Dave, he looks more like me than you. One. And two,
I mean, the Bridget face. TM. Sue me.
I'm just saying, he looks like he's,
That's so rude.
What?
I don't know.
I love her face. Bridget face is the best face.
He's 40 or something.
I-
I just
he
I
is-
can't.
He's 40
He's 40.
He'll be like
he's 40
30
He's 4017.
It's just, I don't know. I was looking at his face really closely during it. I was like, how old is this guy supposed to be?
He's
And
47,
then you know what it
4017.
made me realize?
There's that 5 o'clock shadow, too.
It's me. It's me, not because we look alike, obviously, Dave,
Right.
but because because I too am trying to hold on to who Bridget was in her 20s. I'm trying so hard. And I'm getting older, and I think it's getting a little embarrassing. But not ready
It
to let
doesn't
it go
show.
yet.
I gotta
Not ready
say.
to let it go.
I don't think you need to worry about it too much.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm ready to be 88.
We were just talking about that before you
know.
came on, Bridget.
I am not ready to be 88. I'm not even ready to be how old I am.
I need to
Now, to be fair,
fast forward.
I don't want to get plastic surgery. I'm not saying that. Maybe a little. But
You just clean up under here and right
I
over
just
here.
wanna, like, lift
just, like,
some
lift
stuff.
this up, but don't lift it where I'm like, don't do that. I don't
That-
want where it's
that's
like.
what
When will
do.
you ever
I don't
need
want my
that? Your
mouth to
cheeks
do
are like a
sex.
feature, Bridget.
It's true.
But they're sagging now.
What?
I don't know.
Now I'm starting to get jowls. Anyway,
I want to quickly move
so
on.
I
Is
too,
that
I
okay?
too am 40 teen.
Wait, so did you listen to the lyrics of the song that came up? Because it's
No.
not a conventional song. It's not a conventional emo, post-punk, pop
Tell me.
punk. It's
Tell me.
about a doctor. It's a metaphor for a doctor
Oh my god,
Whoa.
I can't even say it. What's going on?
wanting to have to like perform surgery, quote unquote, like
Okay.
as like a metaphor for hooking up.
Oh, like a Dr. Feelgood.
But like not as schlocky.
Okay.
It's like it. You know how emo takes itself too seriously.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Feelgood too lowbrow for you, Dave?
And that's why I like it, Bridget.
So the song is from the surgeon's perspective.
Yeah, the surgeon,
He's
aka the
talking
teenage
about-
boy.
He's talking about
He
performing
wants to
surgery.
open you up and dig in.
Yep.
You know?
He wants to enter.
Wink, wink. Not
He
know what
wants-
I mean? Know what I
He
mean?
wants to rummage around your guts. You know.
It's so gross. He wants to rearrange your insides. That's horrible.
You know what's even? You know what the best part is? There's no audience right now. There's no.
No,
there's no,
they're
like-
missing. They're missing our best.
They're
stuff.
missing. Like it's like when we think nobody's
Who's
listening
here?
or watching.
Those
It's
are
like
two people are here, and I'm one of them.
I'm the other one. So no one.
No one's
this is no audience. Walking Dead is the best Walking Dead. It's like if a podcast falls in the forest, does anybody care if we start canceling ourselves? No,
If this gets too bad, you can just like not. You can just like delete it from YouTube.
absolutely not. This is the best part. Are you kidding me?
But we'll get canceled, right?
Nah,
what?
I wish we
I
get
don't-
canceled.
I
At
didn't
this
say.
point.
I didn't say
You're gonna
any.
rearrange
Rearrange-
someone.
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
say
rearrange my
anything
insides
I wouldn't
with
say
your
any
organ.
other day of the week. So
Hey, your organ is rearranging my organs.
So in
dumb.
this song is his scalpel, his thing.
I don't know.
Yes.
Probably.
It's just, and it sounds like something one of the emo bands would say. It had that cadence and that
Yeah.
Term must be.
Okay.
Dun,
I
dun,
don't-
dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean? Like
I'll
Sorry,
that.
are
go
you
back and
singing
hear it.
yellow card at me right now?
That's like a
Stop.
very yellow
Um,
card
It was
melody.
that's very yellow card.
It's a
whatever you
very
used.
all the emo bands.
No, Dave. There's
Don't
differences.
generalize like that. Yeah.
There's a
Rude.
difference.
Are you offended upon? Is there like a
Yes.
emo society
Yes.
anymore,
Yes.
or is that like against the emo code to have a society that isn't an emo
No,
society?
it is very, very present.
Is it though?
Yes.
I wish it'd be absent, and we should move on. But
Okay.
we're just like,
So
He's
that's
right,
what
but
the
I don't wanna
title-
say
so
he's
that's what
right.
the title means.
well, isn't everybody keeping up appearances? The mayor, Wayne, don't tell the
Sure.
press. Dana, don't tell the press.
Yep.
Don't tell Dad. That was the title of the
That
last
was
episode.
That was the last one.
Don't wake daddy.
What-
That was a game.
yeah. What was that from?
Don't wake daddy. It's a game.
Is the game? Is that what the game is called? Oh wait, it's a tabletop or like a
Yeah.
kids game. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he wakes up from the bed. "Ah,
He like shoots up.
my kids are acting out.
Don't wake daddy.
I love how this show has become a vehicle for all things absurd right now.
I don't
My
know,
organs are
sorry.
rearranging your organs.
I don't know what's
Anyway.
happening.
I enjoy the way Bridget's saying "daddy."
Don't wake daddy.
Daddy.
Don't wake daddy.
I could go into a
No.
tangent about just that accent, but I'm not going to. It's taking all my strength.
Oh no.
What?
Am I still
What'd you
here?
do?
Okay, my screen just went black for a second. It was terrifying.
Did it fall asleep?
Did your desktop go into power save mode?
No, it was like
Which is
It
weird.
was like, do you want this app to make changes to your computer?
Doo doo doo. Right.
No.
I don't.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so I
keep-
do want to talk about this weird concert.
Well, what else is keeping up appearances?
Oh,
Oh,
still on
Rhodey
that?
still appears to be a 40-year-old instead of
40 teen.
40
Um,
teen.
And
Good job, everybody.
and you know what? Someone goes by Bouquet. It's not Mrs. Bucket, it's Bouquet.
Wait,
What?
who? What?
What?
Did
No
I
one's
miss
getting
that?
this reference. If any of
Okay.
you have ever watched the show, Keeping Up Appearances, and you're getting this reference right now, leave a comment, please, for the love of God, so I'm not alone in this.
Keeping Up Appearances
Where's
is a
Charity
show.
when I need her? She would know.
Is it an old show?
Yeah, it was on PBS.
Okay. Okay. So somebody said
Keeping Up
bouquet instead of bucket. Gotcha. It's like Tarjay.
Yes, her name was
For trash
Bucket,
people.
but she wanted to be viewed as
Oh.
not trashy like the rest of her family was.
Like-
And so she would tell everyone, "Oh, it's Bouquet, darling."
Like
It's
Joe
not.
Dirte?
Yeah.
Was there an E at the end of turn?
No.
Which makes it even funnier. You're right.
Joe Dirte.
You're right. Who else
right,
is keeping up appearances
so-
before you continue with your thought, Bridget?
Who else?
Yeah.
You literally listed everyone. So
Everyone.
who am I supposed to say now,
Okay.
Dave?
Let me add this little factoid because I don't think we're going to bring it up again. Kay, the roommate, M's roommate, which is
Ugh.
kind of funny because M, Martha, Kay, is her
I
name?
know. And I
Catherine?
don't like her. I want to punch her.
Exactly. Her name is Martinus. Let me just actually get that right.
It's probably her last name.
Yes.
Right.
Well, no, Matherin is her last name, according to the
Comma
rap sheet.
K.
What?
Comma K.
It didn't say that in the sheet. All it has is last names and heights for some reason.
That's weird.
Yeah. But we know her name is Kay from the show because it was mentioned on the show. So Kay Matherin, or at least the first letter of her first name, because you never know, because M is Martha. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah, God only knows.
Which is that's kind of funny. It's cute. It's cute. Thank you, narrative show. But Matherin is a very funny name. I'm like, what kind of name is Matherin? Matherin, she's 5'4", just want to let you know. Matherin means of Mars, meaning the Roman god of war. Okay, wait. In Latin, from the Latin Martinus. That's why I said Martinus before. But wait, the French derivation means mature / ripe. So I don't know what that means in terms of like, is
I
she
don't like that you said that.
is this like I was thinking more of like she's like a 21 Jump Street situation where Bridget is pretending to be emo teenage Bridget.
It's just not a phase, Dave. That's all I'm saying.
It's a very long phase, Bridget.
I'm fine.
I agree. You hide it well, unlike Kay. Kay Matherin. Anyway, so speaking of
He
annoying,
cannot get this last name. Okay.
okay, you had
I
a
have
thought.
a theory.
Yeah.
I have a theory. This I'm gonna skip. I was gonna talk about the punk show or whatever the heck that was, but the dismemberment thing. But I'm not going to.
Yeah. No, we're gonna
Dismember.
circle
We'll
back
come
to
back.
that.
We'll come back to that.
November.
Instead
Yeah.
of remember.
No, we're gonna
But-
come back.
I want to talk about Kay, the roommate, because I got a very strong feeling that is she sleeping with the professor?
Okay.
Yeah. Did the professor move on from M to K now?
Ooh.
Because she was being all weird on the phone.
Well,
you know?
alphabetically, K comes before M. So
Did I miss what happened on the phone? I don't remember the phone.
She was being weird on the phone. She was on a phone call and she was like, "Yeah, she sleeps all day or
Oh,
whatever." It was
yeah.
just like the way that she
She's
kind
lazy.
of got off of
That
the
kind of,
phone
like-
was weird.
She was like, I can't talk now, and then like hung up.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
So it was weird. And then I thought, also, did you are the one who told M to go to the bridge. You are the one who drove her there. We now know. So did you have something to do with her
And
dying?
got her
Were you trying to
drugs.
get her out of the way so that you could have, which mind you, he's a
Drugs.
horrible person because you're sleeping with a college student while your wife is dying of cancer.
Yes, Negan. Oh wait.
Oh wait. Oh, you're a less attractive version of Negan? Wow.
Right?
I feel like there's a lot that goes into why she would do such a thing too, or why she would.
I don't
There would be
know.
that power. Given the accident, given the amount of recovery she had to have, she said she was a sheltered child because of her brittle bone syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
I can easily see like that being like a safe choice for her in a weird way. Like, why take a chance on somebody that's my age who will mock me and scarier, where there's like a
Okay,
daddy
what's
issues
more
thing.
wild is taking a chance on a married dude.
Yeah,
So,
he's already married. It's safe. There's
you know that's
nobody's
gonna
gonna
end up
out
poorly.
me.
What?
I thought it was interesting because we find out that M doesn't actually really care about him. She's just trying to figure out what happened that night.
Right.
And I was happy, Rachel, because your question was answered. Like, it seemed like she didn't know what happened, and then we find out it's because she was on drugs.
Right,
Oh,
right.
So
like
it
super
answered
drugs.
all of the questions that we had from the last episode.
I love a show that does that. Isn't this so satisfying?
She's referring to From people. From on MGM. She's referring to From, and we will move on.
You didn't have to do any of that. I'm just saying
Now,
how
this is-
nice this is.
This is where I actually have to apologize because I not finished watching the show when the day we recorded for notes. I bled into my first few minutes watch of the second episode, which is why you were like, well, they didn't show her
Oh,
climbing over the
when you
median
said her-
and waking
yeah.
up at the river.
Oh, yeah.
didn't
do that.
What are you talking about?
Bridget just trying to channel Bridget, like she's so confused. Why is she so dumb? I saw it, and then I realized, wait, hold on a minute.
Oops.
So
Interesting.
All the times he's given us crap about watching ahead. And we've never spoiled anything when we do that.
But he did.
But
he
you
did.
sure did, Dave.
well, yeah, but you know, even if you do spoil it, I mean, right? You didn't know what I was talking about. You're like, what? You're nuts. They didn't show us that. It didn't matter anyway. Same thing with Karina when we talked about the first episode of Fallout. She
When she
watched
said
ahead
that
of it,
thing,
like
I don't know if you saw my face during that, Dave,
Yeah,
but like I
yeah.
knew what she was talking about. I was like,
when I went to the
I
editing.
started doing. I was like,
You
I
did
was
this first. You
shaking
did
my
this. You actually here's how it happened. Let me describe it. You were looking down for some reason because you're always looking down or eating something. It's fine. And then all of a sudden she kind of like she kind of.
wow.
call me back.
I'm just saying you fidget around a lot. Sometimes you kick and then you kick the desk and it goes boom. Wait,
Because you're always eating or whatever, fatty.
you're always doing something. You're multitasking, Bridget. Anyway, he says awkwardly. But then she looks up. She looks up suddenly. Goes like
I
half.
knew what happened, and I couldn't say anything without busting myself.
Yeah, half like trying not to alert the fact that she started looking up like this kind of like slack mouth, kind of like, where is
That's
this
why,
gonna
like,
go?
I just slowly shake my head because I was like, Dave
like
can't know that I know.
undetectably shaking her head so that nobody could see, but hopefully she's sending telepathic messages to Karina so she sees something that she's not actually doing. But that like imperceptible, like if I shake my head at the frame rate where nobody can see it, but maybe Karina can see it, maybe she'll stop talking. But she did not. She plowed on like as if it was lore at that point.
Did.
She's the best. I can't wait to have her on again. Anyway. All right. So let's go back to the theory. I think it's, well, she says at the end of the
It might
episode.
be too crazy. but-
Well, I don't know about sleeping with the professor, but she says she needed a quick fix. And then she kind of has this thought, right? Like she goes, wait a minute. You're asking the wrong questions. I know who killed M.
What a weird thing to say.
Right?
also.
Like mid-sentence.
I was saying, what a
Sounds like
deflection,
you're-
too, right?
Sounds like you're crafting an alibi.
Or
Just saying.
I was thinking even like, are you preparing to kill Dana Cypress? Like Officer Dana, who was obviously like coming under false pretenses into the room. Like there's, I smelled weed and the door was open, so I was able to, you have no probable cause. Also, I don't know. I'll say this much. Have you had thoughts about when this is all taking place? What year?
Oh,
No.
no.
Okay. I was wondering that myself after looking at the flip phone, the Prius V that Ibrahim Ramin drives, the 4x3 screen LCD monitors in the sheriff's office instead of like
Oh, okay.
16
No
by
one
9.
would notice that except for you, Dave.
Yeah, of course you noticed that.
So the comic book does not establish its point in time. Like it makes this
Well, when did it come out? Oh,
It-
we talked about it. 2012.
2007 2012 to 2017. However, it's kind of official that the rap sheet has the date of 2007, the drug busts for the year of 2007. This show takes place or starts in December of that year. We're now probably in 2008 because it's 35 days later.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh.
Why that
so
year?
We're pre Walking Dead.
Sleep, or arguably, because we've made the argument that yeah, maybe it started in 2008, but took a while to reach a fever pitch. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. There are other things too, like okay, but the Prius V is actually an anachronism because that came out in 2012. Prius V was like their wagon version
It's
of the
like-
Prius.
They made this show for you, former Prius driver and IT guy.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is it does take place in 2008, but the Prius V came out in 2012, so that's kind of a
So he has an advanced model.
yeah, that's right. The CDC has that stuff on lock, basically.
Maybe he's testing it.
And it also it's already dinged up too.
I don't know.
Anyway, so
Okay,
I thought it was
so-
interesting.
Okay, so we're in.
Also, the World of Warcraft, by
2008.
the way. Did you notice that as well? That Deputy McRae is back for another episode
I was so happy to see Derry. Yeah. That was
and a
good
little bit more
times.
up close.
I was not happy to see that rat tail, but good
No.
golly.
I mean, impressive though. Very long.
Well,
He worked very hard on that.
what were you about to talk about? What were you about to get into? Sorry, I did cut you off.
Who were you talking to?
Rachel, sorry.
Uh,
I said World of Warcraft right as you were saying something.
did you?
I did, and I feel bad now because you
Okay.
just completely mind erased it.
Yeah, it's gone now. Whatever it was.
Well,
Alright,
then let's
well-
talk about Derry because I want to focus on the things you want to talk about. Derry, Nathan Dales, aka Deputy McRae,
His first name could be Derry. We don't know what it is.
Deputy
Or
Daryl
It could be
McRae.
Daryl. Daryl McRae.
By the way, Daryl with
Yeah,
two
I just-
R's. By the way, Just-
Yeah, I was just happy to see Derry. It was good. Sounding strangely a lot like Derry.
Derry from Letterkenny.
Yeah.
I had two observations. First of all the lines, Where are you picking those blueberries from? Okay, Canadian, please stop it. Second, he's obviously got snooze or like
Ugh. yeah.
lip tobacco kind of thing.
Yeah, he's
Gross.
chewing something.
Awesome.
That's gross.
Second, The rat tail, like you guys mentioned, the huge rat tail. Is that
It's
an
so
homage to Eugene from
My
The
f-
Walking Dead?
My favorite part was when he tried to move it, but it just fell back behind
Yeah,
him
he
again.
tried to flip it back behind the chair and it just came back as if
Yeah.
to say, it's long, but not that long.
But not that long.
Yeah.
No, it's that long. You just messed it up. Nathan Dales.
Shush.
What else can we say about Nathan Dales? But also screwing the pooch just as they reach. Her name is Arlene, the 83-year-old. We're gonna call her zombie or deranged zombie. He gets the maternity ward and he goes whoops, and then like he knocks over a toy and she
Oh,
goes
yeah.
and she just goes away.
Takes off with the baby.
Yeah. Which then, speaking of Eugene from The Walking Dead, we ended up bumping into a bookend. We see Stephen Ogg at the beginning of the episode, and we
Yes.
see him at the end of the episode-ish, or middle, I guess.
Making
Actually, it's
this
right in the
show
middle.
Officially part of the Walking Dead universe.
Ma-
Yay.
well,
Now we have
Maybe.
even more legitimacy for covering it.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
disagree. That's why I immediately stopped the second episode the moment I saw him at the beginning of the episode with when
And
Cooper.
he was like, "You guys, do you want to cover this or not?" And he kept asking, and I was like, "He clearly wants us to cover it."
Well, I really knew that you would like the schlockiness of like the horror references.
I love it.
28
Yeah.
days later was referenced, or weeks later even. And
Well,
then
both, really.
Well.
and turns out 28 years later probably came out right when that episode was released.
Yep.
So
Oh.
Yeah.
recently, how about that little symmetry
haven't seen it.
going on?
None of no.
It's so good. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, and that was the year that 28 was a couple years later that 28 years later came out. Oh, sorry, 28 weeks later. I'm trying to 2007.
Oh, from that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or
guess
it might have been
would've around there.
2006. Right, because it's 28 years. Sorry, 28 weeks later is what is that? No. Oh, that's only 6 months. But
It
that's
did not come out only 6 months after
No,
the first one. They
it
did
probably
not
came out 6
actually
years.
follow that. Yeah, they did not follow that.
So yeah, I think it was like 2005, 2006 or something like that. Anyway, sorry, I just thought that was interesting. Fine. All right, what else? Anything else about Derry?
No. Can we move on from him, please?
Well, he did mention that the drugs. So, can we wrap up the conversation about the drugs? Because that was an interesting back and forth throughout the episode. How these aren't pill mill drugs, like from a pain relief center, right?
Yeah.
These were manufactured for the express distribution of illicit drugs dealing. They're like super oxycodone, basically instant release IR, instant release oxycodone. For what purpose and for whom? And even Dana Cypress, see Rachel's
McMurray.
face. Yes, Mrs. McMurray. Officer McMurray. How about that? Does that work for you? She even says maybe there's a connection between the drugs and the revived. Is that possible? I don't know. There were other mentions of why there might be a connection between the revived and something else. But I don't know.
What is it used for besides recreational use?
Oxycodone?
Well, those pills specifically weren't they, didn't you just say they were
Recreational only. Like for
Exactly.
illicit. Right.
exactly? So those drugs presumably are going to be in a specific crowd of people. Like I'm not sure. I mean, we haven't seen all the revivers, but I would find it unlikely that
Well, the
they're
police should have been
all
able to make a
recreational
connection.
drug users.
Yeah, the police should have
Yeah.
been able to make a connection between all of them if that were the case already, because
You
that's
think?
basically
So this is not exactly a crack team here.
Yeah, but
well, I don't
they
think
have
that's a fair statement.
but they have
very
drug
unfair
arrest
for me to say.
records.
Well, so here's what I was going to get to, because that's a great question. And one, remember something that I said in the last episode, how there were so many people that were revived. Like, we're talking about like 51 people officially, 51 names on that list of revived, 4 of which who weren't accounted for until like Dana came into the picture. So like 51 people in the span of 2 weeks were revived whom died between the 2 weeks. That's a lot of people. Okay.
Wait, they all died within 2 weeks, but
Correct.
revived on the same day, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. But that's a lot of people to die in a small town in 2 weeks. Do we agree?
Not really. Depends on your
51 people in a
population.
small town?
Wausau is not the smallest town, though. It's not like 1,000 population. Like Wausau is like, it's like a fairly large city.
I would probably. It just seems unlikely to. I mean, I'm not saying it's like a town population 1,000, but probably
Okay.
in the tens
I
of
say
thousands.
fairly large because I lived in a town smaller. It's
okay.
39,000 people.
Okay, yeah,
So
there you
50,
go.
51 is not that much. Especially,
Do
I
the
will say
yearly
this.
average.
Well, I'm going to say this. A small town in Wisconsin, much like small towns here in the South,
Mm-hmm.
there are quite a lot of deaths because opioid epidemic is real
Oh, and
and
this is
has been.
Basically,
And has been
in the
since
midst of
even
that.
back even since back in 2007.
Yep. Like the whole what was that scandal with the pill mills and the starts with an S, the Sackler family, right? That whole lawsuit I think was around that time, right? Or maybe even later
That
on
I do
those
not know.
years.
That I do not know.
Either way, I'm curious. Well, it just seems high, especially. Well, maybe that. Okay. I've heard this statistic of around Christmas time is the highest rate of suicides and stuff like that,
Typically, yeah.
and drug overdoses and stuff like that. So I can instantly
Okay.
refutes his own statement.
Well, okay, so I'll give you this. In 2017, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services reported a total deaths of 455 for the year.
For the year, okay, and then if you divide that by 52, and then assign most of those to Milwaukee,
You would end up with like no.
no.
No, it's Wausau. It's Wausau.
Oh, just Wausau? I
This
thought you
is-
said
This is
Wisconsin.
just the
Okay.
city. No. Oh
Okay,
my
okay.
God. No. Deaths in the state of Wisconsin? Dude. 455? Yeah, you're dreaming. Their total county had 1,192.
Mountain Bay. Okay, for the year.
Marathon County. Yeah, where they're located.
Oh, I thought it was Mountain. I guess it's the comic book. Mountain Bay is the.
It's
okay.
Marathon County is where Wausau, Wisconsin is actually located. It would be,
Actually, show.
it would be 17 and a half, so like you'd say 18 is like the actual number.
So it is
the
high.
number.
So like it's 4 times as high.
18 for a week.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, still 2 weeks.
No, I'm
is
sorry.
double.
It is 2 weeks.
Yeah,
18
yeah.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I did the math pretty quickly. I surprised myself. Ooh.
Well, I did the math, but sure.
I did your math. Shakes hands.
Literally, I have the calculator to prove it.
You needed a calculator.
Dave, come on, dude. You want to? All right, Rain
I'm
Man.
just kidding. Anyway, so
What is it? What is it?
just want to
Lay it
make a
on me.
dumb
Give me the
face
math.
that you can make fun of me later for.
Mm-hmm.
But so high, I guess.
End of the year.
I'm making a connection here because the rap sheet, the big drug bust rap sheet, which contained about 25 people for the year of 2007 with K in it, pretty high as well. She even remarks, she says, well, that's pretty high. The amount of people who are busted for drugs or oxycodone specifically selling.
Well, that's the thing. If it's an opioid crisis and that is happening, then you have to assume that the annual deaths was probably higher. I was looking at statistics from 2017, so
Okay.
opioid crisis is still very much happening.
And maybe this is just right around the time it was happening or starting, let's say. And
Maybe.
if that's the
just
case,
throwing it out there. I mean, if drugs are a pinnacle point of this story, then I think you can make the assumption that
Oh.
is part of it.
and specifically pain drugs. Okay, so
Yes.
something that was said in the first episode and the second episode. Okay, and Ramin says it both episodes. The first episode he says, or no, I'm sorry, it was the coroner, Harvey,
Randy.
Sorry, Randy says something about the guy who was accidentally buried or burnt in the incinerator. This guy, he mentions Jeff right before the real guy busts out of the crematorium. Anyway, He says the reason was because without pain, we don't know. Without the feeling of pain, we don't know
We need pain to,
To
let us
live.
know we're alive.
exactly. Ramin says in the second episode, it's not just the ability to like almost instantly repair your muscle mass, or it's not about strength. Isn't just about muscle. It's also about the lack of pain receptors. He says, right? And if this, whatever oxycodone, this special oxycodone, makes it so that you don't feel pain, it's like this special manufactured version of it. Well, then couldn't that be the thing that caused the revival? Basically, the special batch. Because that's the claim. Like I'm connecting the two drops.
I get what you're saying, but that's what you're saying is all the revivers were using this drug.
Or I don't know about using, but maybe we're given.
But they
Somehow?
weren't given it because it was manufactured by a drug dealer. You're not going to the pharmacy to pick this up. This was specifically manufactured for recreational use, not medicinal.
What if the supplier wasn't your typical drug dealer, let's say? Because Kay even has, the way she's even going about talking about M's fix, quote unquote, makes it seem as though she went to somebody special to get like a special fix for her problems, assuming that what she's saying is true according to Bridget's theory.
She obviously went to Walter White. It's blue, right?
Or the Wisconsin equivalent of Walter White, essentially.
Maybe it's Teacher Lover.
Maybe or the
His
line
wife.
go yes. Wait, why? Because where does the title of this episode come from?
She
She
says
says
it.
we should keep up appearances.
We need to keep up appearances. Yeah.
Why? To your point, why? Is it because of the affair, or is it something else?
Maybe she's a drug dealer.
Maybe she needs the pain medication for herself, and she said, "Well, if I'm making it for myself, maybe I'll make it for
Might
everybody
as well
else."
make some money on the side.
Could be. Hey, listen, we're spinning yarns at this point, but it's interesting. It's not the conventional. I'm trying to make a connection between these drugs to the revived somehow.
Well, see, these are wild theories.
Well, and they keep talking about pain. There's another. Let me add another log to the fire.
Here's the thing. Obviously, there's something going on with these drugs. Obviously, it's going to play a part in something. I personally don't think it has. I don't think that's what brought people back. Let me.
Right.
Let me get more specific. I don't think all the revivers were using the drug. Okay, what if maybe something wild like? What if it seeped into the ground somehow?
Yeah, in the production.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to find out that all of these revivers were taking recreational drugs and that's what happened.
Well, remember what I said in the first episode? I said that it was so precise that they had nailed down the time of revival so precisely between the fact that one guy didn't revive the day before, just the day before, and how the guy from the crematorium came up and the guy, whoever it was, sat up in their body bag. All that stuff happened at the same time. And all within a specific 2-week span period. Another thing that was said in this episode in relation to, this is dumb. I'm going to admit this is dumb, but M's brittle bone disease, Derry mentions blueberries. Now, a side effect or symptom of having brittle bones, even type 1, is having a blue, I forget what it's called. I keep messing it up too in my head. Oh, sclera, right? The whites of your eyes, your sclera, are blue. I thought that was an interesting thing. What happened to you, Bridget? You're muted.
There's like barking outside, but it sounds like it's like right outside of the window.
But it's a ghost dog?
It's like a little dog.
But
like a yippy.
But is it a ghost dog or a real dog?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go check. So if I don't come back,
Frankie
call 911.
losing her mind?
No, she actually doesn't care, but it sounds like so close that I'm like, because our neighbors have like a little yippy dog, but usually it's like it's way over there.
Like in their
Oh.
house.
It almost
so
sounds like
close.
it's like stuck under the porch or something. So I'm gonna go check. But
Where's
if
Trav?
he left, of course,
Oh,
Well, we don't hear it, but
it's
and there's
coming
like a
from
ton
inside
of
the
rumbling
house.
outside too. Anyway, I'm gonna grab something. I'll be fine. I'll be back.
Do
sure,
you have like
no
a,
problem.
a bat or a weapon of some kind?
I've got some.
Okay.
It's an excuse to use the Lucille prop that she has. No, but did you hear what I said? So the whites of her eyes are blue as well. So I thought it was
Whites
interesting.
of whose eyes?
M's eyes are. It's a side effect of brittle bones. The whites of her
Oh.
eyes would be blueberry,
Blue.
well, like slightly blue instead of white.
Okay.
Interesting thing, that factoid about brittle bones. There's like little things, little touch points. Oh, and one last thing. This is the thing I really wanted to talk about. People with brittle bones also have dental issues, and occasionally deformities, like bone deformities. And who had dental issues? But the Arlene. I'm assuming that the person chewing.
Dental issues that they would grow back. Are those the issues you're referring to?
Well, I mean, there could be a case for these people having some sort of brittle bone disease or something to that effect. Brittle bones plus lack of pain because of,
I don't think Arlene had brittle bones. She was throwing people around like sacks of sugar.
the old
I
sacks of
panicked.
sugar.
I panicked. I'm like, what do people
You feel like sacks of
around?
potatoes, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Shut up.
The sacks of sugar I like a lot better though. I bet
panicked,
that's
and
how Arlene
sugar
would
was
phrase
the
it, too.
first
Her-
thing that came to my
She's
mind.
83 years old. She would say that definitely.
She would say
She
that.
would. I guarantee it.
All good. My neighbors are just obnoxious and doing something outside. So
Right.
With the dog.
apparently allowing the dog to screech outside uncontrollably. So
Well,
it's
let me
fine.
catch you up, Bridget. People with brittle
Okay.
bones sometimes have a blue sclera, which is the whites of their
Yeah,
eyes.
I heard that.
And second thing is that people with brittle bones also seem to have, first of all, bone deformities, but also dental issues.
Sure.
So, and
Even though teeth are not bones, but yeah.
well, yeah, maybe the anchoring or they fall out because of the jaw on your face, basically.
Okay.
And what's her name? Arlene, the 83-year-old person, kept pulling them out. Could be related. I don't know. Just all these little things kind of connect.
Well, like all those people have brittle bones disease.
Well,
That'd be
it's
insane.
possible.
I love
That'd
how
be
we caught you up
alarmingly.
on only the things he said. while
Yeah,
you were gone.
correct.
Well, Rachel did say she was just throwing around like sacks of sugar.
No, wow. Okay, there was more leading up to
No.
that. I made a point to say that
There's not.
clearly Arlene is not suffering from brittle bone
No.
because she was able to pick a
She
full-grown
was.
adult and toss him around like a.
I did
sack
wonder
of
about
sugar.
that.
I did say sack of sugar.
I did wonder about that though, because like, okay, why doesn't M have, as far as I can tell?
Or any of them, as far as we know, because Mrs. McMurray was able to fight with the hillbilly with no teeth.
Why do they all have weird things about their teeth?
Well, so far, two of them, yeah.
Who fought with
Ripping
the
out their
hillbilly?
teeth, not having teeth. Dana.
Yeah, Mrs.
She
McMurray.
She didn't fight with him, but she did subdue him.
Oh, the
Yeah.
hillbilly in the first episode. Ugh,
Yeah,
that threw me off for a bit. Sorry.
if he had super strength, he would have easily fought her off.
True.
That was not the case.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Even Ramin says this Arlene is the only person
was
who's
the-
exhibited the strength bit.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's the turning off of her pain receptors. That's what he says. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe everybody has a different situation. Maybe it's like the 4400, Bridget. Everybody has their own special power.
Maybe.
But see, as Dana was talking to Ramin about superpowers and how levity was M's superpower, doesn't it seem more of Dana's superpower, the levity bit? Because as M is
Say
getting
that
beat
again?
like a sack of sugar, getting beat to a pulp, it seemed to me like Dana had the levity bit.
I think it's a gift that they both have. M, we see her smiling and cracking jokes during it, even though she's getting her ass completely handed to her. Um, and Dana seems to cope through joking because that's how she's dealing with her sister having died. Because this is a really big deal. Like, her sister's just blowing it off and acting like it's not a big deal because she's a reviver, so she's back now, so like it doesn't matter.
And
But
mother.
it does matter.
Because it happened. Something
You died.
happened.
You
Yeah.
died. But also on top of that, you are now forever changed, and we don't know how or why.
Yeah, best line ever I think was your dad's gonna kill me. Wait, is that something that we can say? Right? Is that offensive?
I don't care anymore. I'm a bad guy now, remember? I don't care.
So I had a question earlier that I didn't ask, and it flew out of my brain, and then it just flew back in. So the revivers are only people who died within a 2-week span. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yes. Okay.
4th to
So-
18th.
Okay. So
Of December.
anyone who died after that date is now staying dead. Correct. We don't have
We
any.
don't know.
It hasn't
We
been
did-
addressed.
We haven't been given that information.
Okay.
I
Okay.
assume so.
Nobody died after that. After the 18th.
I assume there have been other deaths and that those people
No.
have stayed dead.
No.
Dave
Everybody
seems to
stays
think
alive,
no.
basically.
He's like every.
We
We're
would know
all
very
infected.
quickly.
I had that thought
Or
even
would-
in the
or-
first episode.
Or maybe we wouldn't. Maybe it's happening so quickly.
Like The Walking
Maybe we
Dead,
wouldn't know.
we're all infected.
I just said that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did I talk over? I'm so sorry.
Secret joke.
I guess the only instance that we would know for sure is if someone died tragically and not of natural causes.
Very
Yeah,
publicly.
I'm sure that's happened because they've been on lockdown for so long.
I thought of that too, like how that kind of plays into. We mentioned this, I think, in the first episode, how it kind of plays with the COVID part of it because of the lockdown for 35 days and stuff like that, and how
Yeah.
like people didn't go to the hospitals and stuff like that, and when the episode starts, they're talking about the mayor's talking about the revived and how like, oh, we're just coming out of lockdown. Oh, it's an adjustment. Cooper's going to school, and even I call her the trash lady, the one who says they were supposed to die.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one M tries to beat up unsuccessfully. She broke my nose, really, but she got beat to get like a sack of sugar. It's crazy. But
Sack of sugar.
she says one thing I actually did agree but didn't want to agree because she's so annoying was that people acting all normal as though zombies are normal. And isn't that us? We acted as though all this pandemic stuff was just, since now, we'll adjust, we'll adapt. It's a double-sided coin because we're an adaptive species. We adapt to changing situations. It's just how we made it. But
Like,
Then-
how else
choice.
are you gonna cope?
Yeah, exactly. We don't have a choice. We
Yeah,
have to
exactly.
adapt.
yeah, but again, the other side of it is like you're acting as though mythical things are normal, like zombies are normal. But aliens. We're discovering aliens are a thing. Probably, most likely.
Did
If I
you
woke
look
up-
at that alien? Because it didn't look real to me.
Well, the more the UVAs, I forget what they're calling them now, or instead of UFOs
Oh, yeah.
or AVPs. I don't
When
know.
did they
They're
change them?
they
Yeah, they
AVPs,
changed it to
Alien versus
something.
It's Alien versus Predators. Okay, guys, you see their aircraft? Yeah, like they're flying the sky like frictionless sacks of sugar. I can't handle it anymore.
They're like, yeah. Remember the government never lies to you. Here's aliens. Do you believe us? And I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, why would
Exactly.
I believe you?
But,
Why
like-
would I believe you? You lie literally all the time.
But then here's the thing: say they were true. Say they showed their faces on national television. We're like, yeah, whatever.
And they lied.
Whatever.
And they were like,
Click.
that's not an alien. I'd be
Exactly.
like, it's all
You lied, alien. Is that just AI?
basically whatever the government tells me, I'm believing the opposite of. Basically.
The government
To
goes,
be fair,
"There's no aliens," and then we're like,
this
"Of course there's
show-
aliens. You told me there's
show
not
is
aliens."
Only proving that point further. Honestly.
Maybe it's the fact that there aren't aliens, and they go like, "Okay, listen, we got to tell them there's aliens, so they'll just stop looking already." Oh,
Yeah,
so
basically.
annoying.
Basically.
How are there 5 people here watching us?
Oh shit! So I swore.
Who's here?
I broke my swear rule for
Hi.
Kivanshi. Kivanshi's, so there's that podcast. She says, "How?" Well, you read it, Bridget.
I can't.
Oh,
There's nothing in the
It's
chat.
not on the chat.
well, have y'all seen the episode where the sheriff went to the house with her son in the car until the old lady's house? Probably
Where are you
not.
seeing this?
Stop saying it out loud, Dave. Stop.
We're only on the
I've
second
only
episode.
watched episode 1 and 2. Stop.
What?
Yeah, where is this? Is this on
It's on.
TikTok?
It's on YouTube, but it's in the live chat, not the top chat. You have
I'm
to switch
in
over.
live chat.
You have to switch over to top chat, live chat,
I'm in live chat.
not top chat.
I'm
Oh.
in live chat.
Seems to be there. I don't know why it's not there.
I
don't
know, it's only
see
on your
anything.
side.
Maybe she deleted it. It's possible.
Oh, maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe.
Maybe she saw the title
wait,
and saw like, oh, that
I-
didn't come
Oh.
out yet.
Well, we
Commented,
weren't
and it's
meaning
not
to
there
ignore
either.
you. We were not.
I don't think
No,
she was
we
thinking
just-
that. I
it's
think she
been
was thinking,
us.
oh, that's a spoiler. We should take that. down."
It's been just us for so
Whoopsie.
long.
It's okay, Kivanshi. It's okay. The internet remembers
Okay.
everything.
My bedtime's approaching.
I see it.
know.
What else do you want to talk about, Rachel?
I feel like we haven't talked about this episode. We've talked about everything else.
I think that was not the first episode. So she does say, "Is this the episode where the sheriff went to the house to see the old lady?"
Oh, I see it now. I
Oh,
see it now.
there it
It's
is.
there.
Oh, she deleted the first one, which is why I talked. Well,
Okay.
That was the first one. So the lady that digs up her husband, she's
That's
like,
the
"He
first
died
episode,
the
that's
day
right.
Oh, yeah.
before."
We did see that. We did
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
That was so sad.
that was. I thought that was sad too.
Okay, can we? Yes, I want to talk a little bit more. Do I?
Oh, we didn't talk about the dismember thing.
Oh yeah.
That's what you
did
wanted to
wanna
go back
talk
to that,
about
Bridget,
that.
didn't you?
Well, it was Rachel who said we
Oh.
got to circle back to that.
Oh yeah, we did need to. I don't really know how much there is to discuss about it, but I thought it was, kind of cool.
Okay, I was gonna say.
A
I was
November
gonna say.
thing.
So Rachel, you and I are like front
Yeah.
row seat at this thing.
So
Oh,
40
Like,
teen.
I'm just like, when am I ever gonna be able to see this again?
I am wearing I'm wearing my blood poncho in the
I
front
can
row.
see it. I can see it in an
Yes.
ethical way because, like,
Yes.
you're gonna do it. It's gonna grow back. Everything's gonna be fine.
And
Right.
It's gonna be super awesome.
Yeah, he said I leave the cool stuff for when I perform. This is what you're
Yeah.
specifically referring
Yes.
to. Okay. Which I'm like, are there any cooler things that one can do when
What
they?
was it? It was like a November to Dismember.
Well, I think the band's just called Dismember. Like it's like remember but dismember. Like I don't remember, but like it's spelled incorrectly.
Lame.
Well, and who said? She says lame now, but when I go emo's dead and it shouldn't be a society anymore, she's like,
Isn't it
maybe
November
not
to-
this.
No.
Dave, there's better emo names than that. That's not a good one.
Disagree.
Hi, Luke. We do not watch the episode live on here.
Well,
YouTube
we also
Never
don't
mind.
recap.
doesn't.
We dig into some of the cool things that you
like
guys have
it.
done, Luke Boyce, writer of the show, writer, creator, showrunner.
Like it. Wait. Oh.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's right.
Wait a second.
I mentioned your name earlier.
Wait a second. You're that guy.
And this episode is live, but we're not watching the
We're-
episode
It's like
live.
not a recap. It's like we just talk
Share
about
our
it
thoughts.
a lot and
Yeah.
just dissect. Dismember.
And sometimes we
dismember
dismember
the episode.
the episode. Yep. Actually, speaking of that, I did want to talk about something very specific that if we hadn't, we would regret it sincerely. And it is referring to a line that Wayne Cypress says, Sheriff Wayne Cypress says, I can't police these things if I can't kill them.
Oh, for real though.
Yeah.
For real though.
Because we see Arlene regenerate and the atypical way of
It's terrifying.
As soon as they stepped out of the room, I was like, no.
it's gonna start bubbling.
I know,
And
it was like,
And
it was
it
like,
did.
I want to link this to, if you don't mind, M's room, because what happens in
Oh,
Arlene's brain pan is exactly
Okay.
looking like her drawings in her room.
no, her drawings had like tentacles. Like I
they're
felt
like
like
little
that was
tentacles
something like a
bubbling.
recurring. No,
In
I
her-
didn't see all of that.
Like this, Rachel. It's
I
bubbling.
I
What are
see
you
you. It's-
doing, you
Stop.
weirdo?
You look like a weird ant.
Like
or
a
something.
moose, like a weird.
No, I feel like these are drawings. Well, I'm also making a huge assumption that she made these drawings after her revival. And I feel like it's
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
because she said she
It's a fair
can't
one.
sleep. So I'm assuming these are maybe some images that are keeping her awake,
These
keeping her
are-
from sleeping.
These are like memories, like snippets
Yeah.
of memories, I would think.
Yeah, that she's trying to
Yeah.
exercise her, trying to bring up because she doesn't remember.
And even though the one guy in the interview said he blinked and then he woke up and like it was really quick for him,
He
doesn't
wasn't
mean it was
on
like
a
that.
slew of drugs.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too.
Well,
doesn't
I
mean it
mean,
was
I
like
don't-
that for everybody
I don't
either.
know. But
Well, let me show you the photo of the room, and then we can zoom in on a couple of things. I
oh
think.
yeah, do that. Do that.
I figured you guys would want to
The
see.
drawings on her wall.
There's
I
some
would like to
specific
see
things
them.
I do want to talk about.
Ah,
It was
confirmation.
giving- it was
she
giving
did do the
from.
drawings after she revived.
Thank you, Luke.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you
Thank you,
for
Luke.
that.
It was giving from a little bit like Victor.
Did you say giving? Okay. Yeah.
I love how they're coming off the page.
I
Like,
do too.
It's so chaotic. Like it's so chaotic in her mind. She can't even contain it to the piece of paper. I
well, it's
love
cool.
that.
It's cool set work.
Yeah. Very cool. There is a kind of it's giving actually Stranger Things if you've ever watched it. I'm trying to use the terminology, Bridget.
Sorry, my face is so huge. I'm trying to look really close at these three on
Which
the
one? The
diagonal
three?
that are sort of similar.
Yeah.
Wait, which
Yeah.
are you talking about? Sorry, the three.
No, nope, down. Nope.
These?
Right, no. You're like
here?
going all that one, and then go on a diagonal upward.
Yeah, they're all
So
three. of
that
them.
one, and
To the right, Dave.
I'm
To the
pointing
right.
at them.
These
like
here?
You know where I'm pointing.
To the
Nope.
right.
Oh, to the
Dave.
right?
To the right. Yeah, that one.
That one.
Oh, these three. I see what
There,
you're saying.
yeah,
Yes.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So
they're
what you're
very
saying is-
similar.
Oh, you won't
It's
be able to see it.
almost. It's almost like I wonder if it's like light refraction through water.
Water. It does look like what she would see from underwater.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I got to tell
Kind
you,
of-
a lot of
I can
this,
see that.
a lot of this looks like when you shine a bright light with your eyes barely closed. You can see like the vein works and like in your eyelid, etc., etc. There's a lot of that going on. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You ever just close your eyes and have a bright light shine in front of it?
No,
I mean,
Well,
if you
am I- just me?
no,
just you.
Okay.
I don't doubt you, Dave. I just no.
or like the moon, like she's underwater looking at the moon.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Moon,
I had a few
something-
notes.
Something in the water, like a plant or
Ooh,
something.
yeah.
Could also. I don't know.
Well, so let me rattle a couple of factoids a little bit as you're looking at this room. So the three that you pointed out in diagonal, right? The from bottom to
Yes.
top here. So the tendrils are pointing inward, whereas
Mm-hmm.
the other ones, the sun, let's say, or sun or whatever, are pointing outwards. The tentacles, we'll just call them, or cilia or hair or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's that effect going on. You'll note that, actually, let me see if I could zoom in a little bit. This one really,
Oh,
we just blanked out because we went too big. Okay. See,
Oh.
do you see that that circle of four
Yeah, the little
circles
flower
with a little
Yeah, like
membrane?
red.
That looks a lot like,
repeated on the wall.
correct, right. You see that in different spots. That looks a lot
Yeah.
like cell division. So when you're, let's say you have a
Oh, okay.
child, it starts out with one cell and then splits to
Sure,
two,
sure,
and
sure.
there's cell genesis basically. That's what that kind of looks like to me. There are other things that I wanted to note, specifically this symbol. This, you're seeing this the square that I'm making?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I
good,
can see
good.
it.
Yeah, we can see that.
So this symbol is called a unicursal hexagram, basically. So you know what a pentagram is? It's the five-pointed unicursal
Yes,
five-pointed star.
correct.
This is a unicursal six-pointed star, basically. It's so that you can create it without having to lift from the page.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a lot like
Oh,
the
I
Mag and David, the Star of David, but instead of
Okay.
two triangles inverted and making a star, it's just one line. Okay. Now, what does it mean? It basically means a union of opposites. Keep that in mind. I don't know what it means in terms of the show, but this is kind of like what we do, right? I'm going to go to the Google AI and read off a couple of things.
Oh
okay.
no.
Oh,
Well, because
gosh.
it's an
no.
amalgam of things I actually dug into, and so it was very, very helpful. Okay, so Unicursal hexagram, a 6-pointed star that can be drawn in one continuous line, represents several concepts, most notably the union of opposites and the journey of the soul towards enlightenment.
Ooh.
What are you oohing?
Sorry, nope, not you. The chat.
We'll go to it. We'll go to it in just a second.
Yeah.
It symbolizes the divine union between humans and the divine and the integration of opposing forces such as spirit and matter. So the ether and what exists, right? It also signifies the macrocosm, the universe, or the external world. Okay, now here's a more detailed breakdown in the AI description of the amalgam of all these resources. The union of opposites means, like the traditional hexagram, the unicursal hexagram represents the joining of opposing forces. This could be fire and water, male and female, or spirit and matter. Journey of the soul is the next category. The continuous line of unicursal hexagram is interpreted as a symbol of the soul's journey towards enlightenment or its ultimate goal, emphasizing transformation and spiritual evolution. So this is the first stage of that journey. Macrocosm. In occultism, this came up a lot when it came to the unicursal hexagram. Occultism. The hexagram can represent the macrocosm, contrasting with the pentagram's representation of the microcosm, the individual. So the collective versus the individual. The thelema. The telema, I should say. The unicursal hexagram is strongly associated with the Aleister Crowley's, the occultist Aleister Crowley, system of ceremonial magic and the religion of telema, where it often appears with a rose in the center, representing the pentagram and 5 elements. The 5 elements of the... It's like, what is Captain Planet? Heart. Anyway.
Earth,
Wind.
water.
Fire. Anyway, other interpretations. In the TV show Supernatural... Sorry.
Hey, I like Supernatural.
I know. I'm kidding. It's known as the Aquarian star and represents, quote unquote, the Men of Letters organization, signifying power and connection to Atlantis. It also appears in
that's
other
all
media like
fictional,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
right?
What?
It's all made up.
Yeah, this is all like other
So
interpretations.
that has no weight here.
It's the last one, so
Well,
you might as well let me have fun with it. Why can't I
Well-
ever have fun?
okay, because it's past my bedtime. That's why.
It's a good.
Well,
That's actually.
I talked about divorced dad trading cards. You can talk
It's true. It's true. We did talk about divorce dad trading cards. Thank you, audio opera. By the way, I had to burn that into my skull to kind of remember it. Let's read the question before Bridget.
Yeah.
For Rachel.
Okay.
There's a burning
So-
question.
Well,
in
let
the chat.
Rachel read it
burning
because she
question.
saw it first.
Okay, go ahead, Rachel.
So there's that podcast is in here.
Givenchy.
Hello, hi, thank you for joining. And they ask, do you think the nature of their deaths determine the level of primal violence they display upon revival? Big eyeballs. What?
She says, I came late from work. Sorry if you answered this already. No, we did not.
Oh yeah, no, we did not talk about this yet.
So let me answer the question by starting out with another bit of notes that I figured. I wanted to ask a question about this. Do you think so teacher lover, as you want to call the
Teacher
guy,
lover.
teacher lover, professor lover,
I don't
whatever.
like using real names.
Right, exactly. His name is Aaron, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Don't care.
All right, teacher lover, his wife, the cancer, the person afflicted with cancer.
Sad wife.
I had a thought. She
Lucille.
says keeping up appearances. We thought it was drug dealing, whatever, but could it be that she's also revived and she passed of cancer, so she will forever have cancer?
Oh.
Well, that's what I was wondering about the guy in the crematorium situation is
Did he die
Did-
from the
did
crematorium?
the revival happen at the moment that he died in the crem? Because then does that mean he's on fire forever? That
Well,
seems horrible.
You're asking whether
right?
he
Like-
died of the crematorium or... Right, because
Or
did
did
he
he
not
re-
die?
Oh, you're
That's
right.
what you're saying.
Postmortem. You're right. It totally ruins my whole theory.
Well,
Okay,
no, why?
never mind.
Because it could have been exactly like he was the story he was relaying about the one guy who died because his pain receptors weren't working, whatever it was.
No, it's okay.
Anyway.
No, that throws it out.
Anywho, so that's my question. That's my question to answer that question, right? So, because if you die,
So
because Remy mentioned scars. If you die with scars, you keep them, whatever.
You still have
Yeah.
them.
So, but go ahead, Rachel. So you said
well,
soul.
I don't. I'm trying to run that whole scenario because we're talking about.
Because does
Does it
Arlene have the old lady we're talking about?
Right.
Was she in a mania? Does she suffer from dementia? There's a whole host of things. She's dementia plus the lack of pain plus the heightened strength equals terrifying. I was trying to give you time to think of what you were going to say.
No, I know, and it didn't work because I'm really stuck on like the sad wife. If she, let's say she did die of her cancer, but then it was during those 2 weeks, and so now she's revived. Does she still have?
Well,
She
I'm making an
must.
assumption. We don't know if
Okay.
she's revived.
I'm inclined to say no, though.
Well, but M still has her brittle bone disease, even
Right.
though she's revived.
There you go. There you go.
That's also true. But she's able to heal
She is.
like very quickly.
Right.
Her bones break
Oh.
easily, but then they heal
Yeah.
quickly.
Would you just be in a constant loop of like having cancerous cells that are like building and then healing and then building and
That's what I'm
healing over and over
That's
and over
what I'm
again?
saying.
Well, that's
The
what
reason
worries
I'm
me.
inclined to say
That's
no about the
interesting.
cancer because also mentions that the drugs don't work on her anymore like they did.
Correct.
So obviously something physiological changed, like at a chemical level, which cancer would affect you like brittle bone. Like her bones might still be brittle, but then they'll heal. So and cancer's at the cellular level versus
But
I don't know.
technically it's
That's a
bone
big-
cells. So it's like I
that's
don't
true.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. That's a really good question.
Well, and
Yeah.
that thing I was pointing out, and we still have this thing on the screen, but like the thing I was talking about with regards to cell division, right?
Mhm.
Well, okay, what
yeah.
if you could stop cell? Because our cells divide all the time.
Right.
It-
that's
yeah,
why
sure, it starts
we
in-
grow skin.
Right. It starts at Genesis, right? Like when you're being a human or starting to become a human, but it still continues, right? And then we have to have cell senescence, basically cells dying, in order to compensate for the replication of cells. And eventually that process gets hyper attenuated so that you grow older. So you're killing cells faster than you're generating cells, or I forget how that works essentially. But anyway, what if your cells stopped dividing? Now, would that mean that the cancerous cells that you have would just stay? Right? Because cancer is the division of cells, healthy cells, or healthy blood
But if
cells.
they're
But that-
rapidly healing, I assume
They're in their
dividing.
I didn't say that they were dying,
Yeah.
though. They just stop. They don't separate. They don't die, right? It's the two things, right? Because I said senescence and division, right? If they stop dividing, but they also stop dying, and if
But
you
then
get
how do they heal?
well, it's like a backup, right?
It wouldn't be that they.
It's like
so that's
restoring
the
from a
thing-
backup. Sorry.
That's the thing, Dave. Like I could get behind that if they weren't healing, they just weren't being injured. If they were like becoming like wounds, they were imperceptible or that's not maybe the right word.
impervious.
Impervious to wounds. Is that like? Do you see what I'm saying? Like then I could get behind this like cell
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I think
Like, instead of
external
being
things
cut,
could still
they
kill
wouldn't
them,
Get
right?
cut at all.
Right? We clearly they're cutting themselves, but they're resetting, right? The cells are resetting to their default state. Let's say the state at which they
Instead
stopped.
of regenerating.
Instead of
Exactly.
regenerating, they're
Okay.
just coming back together.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Or
Okay.
let's take
Except
okay.
in the case of Arlene.
No, that's
that
what I was getting
definitely
to.
regeneration.
Well, Arlene would be in the case of Arlene. It would be okay. I'm getting instructions to rejigger everything that was in the default state. What? Even Ramin says, depending on the severity of the issues, how long it'll take for you to completely heal. And she had her head lopped off. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I was really mad about
Yeah.
that when the brain started growing back, and I was like, Dave was right.
wait, what am I right about?
You had said it in the previous episode. You're like, I don't know. She might not be dead. She might be coming back. And I was like,
That was my
So as
concern.
soon as I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
Dave was right.
What's-
It's also more scary because, like,
It's
how are you
terrifying.
gonna- What are you gonna
It's
stop
terrifying.
her?
This is Return of the Living Dead.
I think
This
it's.
is you can't stop them, and that's more
Well,
horrifying.
I'm concerned more for the people afflicted than I am for the people around them, because it's really instinctually we want to be afraid of the people, and the show does a great job of marginalizing them, or at least saying these people are going to be marginalized. So let's make it as normal as humanly possible. But clearly, that one woman is thinking what a lot of people are also about the revived, and maybe even Wayne himself is thinking about the revived. By the way, that they're scary and we need the governor. He went over the Mayor Dillish, whom we all agree maybe is super sexy. He went over his head to talk to the governor because the governor owed
Dave's
him a
really
favor,
into the
apparently.
mayor.
So what I'm trying to say is he's scared and he needs help with Arlene, and he thinks this is going to be a bigger problem than just the one person, right? But you're busy reading the chat instead of
I
hearing
am.
what I'm saying.
I am, because we're getting a good response.
Yeah, of course,
that-
it's Givenchy. So
I shouldn't assign you a pronoun because I don't know.
it's a
So let me
she.
Stop doing this.
She's
Okay,
a
she.
she.
I started to say she, and then I was like, maybe I'm wrong.
I mean,
know.
Givenchy is like it's like the how you know. Anyway, sorry.
I think the guy with the teeth answers some of those questions. His teeth kept growing back to the level of decay in which he died, which is we see that in Arlene and we see it in what's his name. So his body regenerated, but to the point of death and remained in stasis, which
Right.
I think is what we were all getting at. But
Yeah.
yeah, Dave was just presenting like a different
Or like a more
scientific
technical
quandary.
explanation for stasis. Yeah.
Yeah.
A more computer. Oh, we restored from backup. Pop in a
He's a
floppy disk number
nerd.
14.
Speaking computer lingo.
You're welcome.
I am
America.
very interested in this picture on the screen to the right.
This one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What if
What
there are a
is
bunch
going
of
on there,
these
man?
together?
I don't know. It's like, what am I looking at?
Some are going in, some are going out. Right? Reaching out, reaching in, reaching out,
Oh, yeah.
reaching in. I don't know. And then it looks like a hive of these circles, let's say.
I know. It almost looks like tumors.
Oh.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
I was thinking like boils, like
Sure.
blisters and boils.
What if
Yeah,
you
sure,
okay,
sure.
okay. This is going to be a reach. Okay, but if you let's go with the tumors thing. We touched on cancer. What if you could spread cancer? And what if you could spread it with specific instructions, like putting a person's cells in stasis, like Givenchy said?
Well, if people are coming back with their own superpowers based, maybe
Maybe, right.
as she says, what was it? Something to do with like
Primal
how they
violence.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
Givenchy,
they're
right.
coming back with these special abilities, then maybe Sad Wife could like touch someone and give them cancer.
That'd be crazy.
Oh my God, that made
That
me
would
want.
be absolutely insane.
Like, I laughed so hard, I actually might have to pee. That's cancer powers. Anyway, thanks, Givenchy. The process is called mitosis, the cell division. So thank you. It's one
Ooh.
word instead of several.
Well, Luke is coming in with some
hot
facts
gas.
here. Okay. This is correct, but I'll clarify further that revivers regenerate to the point that they actually revived.
Okay. Okay.
This becomes an important point to one of the future characters, but won't spoil anything. That is
Clarity.
super interesting. Super
Oh,
interesting.
Luke, like a writer, he just wants to feed the
Okay,
birds.
wait. So is that guy on fire forever?
Oh no.
That's
Wait,
horrible.
so he was on fire when he revived.
Yeah.
He
that's
could
right.
never be put out.
That's brutal.
So he's just
It's
running
so
around
brutal.
town setting everything
That's
on
why
fire.
he was running. That's why he was running around.
That's why he was still on fire.
We need to see
Maybe?
this guy again. He's just running around on fire.
Well, he wasn't as on fire when he was on the road. Just to clarify. He
Yeah,
was
he wasn't,
still
like,
on
full
fire.
lit.
Right.
that would be horrible.
Bridget.
That really would be.
Bridget Rachel is gingers. My heart burns there too.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever.
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. I've stayed up
Winter
way
fire,
past my
bitch.
bedtime.
Okay, well,
This was very interesting, very fun.
I feel like we could sign off now, though.
Oh,
What-
oh,
what-
okay.
Do you?
The only thing
I mean, I can't think of anything else that we didn't talk about.
well, I can think of one
I-
thing. It's small,
Okay.
but what do you got? What do you got? It's fine.
Nothing. I was just gonna say again how much I appreciate having these interesting questions posed, and then getting some answers, while then offering me more questions and mystery to hold on to.
That you
This
can
is-
appreciate.
This
Yeah.
is wonderful storytelling.
It's good formulaic. Like,
Now that you're here, Luke,
not like,
this is
not like
wonderful
too formulaic,
storytelling.
but like, yeah.
This is a good viewer and TV show relationship that is happening right now.
It's like you have
I
a
never-
question, well, I'll answer it in the next episode so you don't have to wait forever. But I'm not going to answer every
Yes.
question.
Not every question,
Yeah.
but here's some. I love it. I love it. And I never thought that that would be something that I had to know that I appreciated, but now I do. And so I I know this and I love it. Great job.
I do have two things. One,
Okay.
Oh, I talked
I
so
know.
long.
no, two
You
small
can
things.
Thought of
They're,
another
they're
thing.
very small things. I promise you.
Okay.
One is not Stephen Ogg, but Blaine Farts. What is his name? Blaine
Blaine farts.
Blaine Farts. That's his name now.
Farts?
Forever his name. Blaine Farts. Blaine Abel is his
Farts.
name. So we bump into Blaine Abel twice in this episode. Why do we bump into him the first time? Is because Cooper Cypress is I'm assuming his last name is Cypress. We'll just go with that. But he bumps into Blaine Abel in the woods after hearing twice in this, once in the last episode, again in this episode, animal noises, just like dinosaurs in the forest for
Yeah,
some
like
reason.
weird
Like a
animalistic.
call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that out there, something to think
Okay.
about, because it's like you hear it and then you forget about it. Like just like the lady, we're acting like zombies are normal. We're acting like dinosaur noises are normal. Wayne doesn't hear it, but Cooper hears it. Anyway, that's a small thing.
Oh. Is that like a frequency only younger people can hear? Because you know you lose the frequencies as you get older.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Well, especially as you grow up, right? You can hear both frequencies as a kid, but when you get older, you tend to hear one over the other as male versus female. But anyway,
That's
This is true.
That's what I just said.
the only
just
no, but you
He
as
had to
in
add the male versus female distinction.
yes,
into
that's
his,
all I wanted
yeah.
to say about that. And then as you
Dave,
get
just say your next thing. Stop it. Just
Bridget's like, wait, hold on. Bridget is the face. Mansplain.
All right, what's your next thing?
The next thing is, how much are you enjoying, first of all, the romantic dynamic between Dana Cypress and Ibrahim Ramin?
oh my gosh, shipping them
love-
so
Hard.
I love the awkwardness.
That last bit in the car ride, he goes, "We should do this more often."
Give you a ride.
You know this. And he's the one to point out how awkward she's making it.
And then he goes, awesome.
Awesome. Bye.
It's so good. It's so good. I
Like,
love
how
it.
accurate is
I love
that?
it so
Like, if we didn't have significant others
still
and
my
we had to
favorite.
date again, that's us essentially, right?
Yeah.
That's how it would be.
Oh,
dumb and
yes.
awkward.
Very much so.
I noted
had
that in
to
the first
do
episode
it.
as they were hooking up in the car. It's like that's how people our age hook up. It's not pretty. It's weird.
Gross.
At our age now. Oh, Rachel, yeah, you can give us some.
What?
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Is
I
that,
don't know.
Gross.
is that your life? I don't know.
No.
Is that your life?
Lord, oh, Lord, no. Gross.
Okay, second thing. There's a
don't think-
second part to this part, which
I don't
is
think old
Gosh,
people do
it's
that.
3 things now.
no,
Okay,
it's part B of the second part, which is Nella and Wayne, Sheriff Wayne Cypress. That whole
Yes.
I thought there was
Yeah.
something there. It seemed
Oh,
like
I'm shipping that too.
because his wife had only died 2 years prior.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
Wait,
put
I
who?
think- The
so
bar owner.
Nella is the bar owner. The bar is
Nella
called
and-
Nella's,
Nella and who?
and Wayne Cypress, the sheriff.
What?
Dad.
Oh, hot grandpa. Okay.
You know, you'd said that offline, and we only just mentioned it in this episode.
Yeah.
We never got to say it in the first
I
episode.
did not know his name was Wayne.
His name is Hot Grandpa.
That's hot grandpa.
Always, forever.
Yep.
Okay, that's now that you know what we're
That's it.
talking about. What do you think of the ship? She
No,
gave him a
I
pet
don't
talk.
I don't ship hot grandpa and Nella. I think it's
Oh,
just
I do.
a friendly.
You're saying you want him all to yourself.
No, no, because then
Clearly.
he's gonna die.
Oh, well, you never know.
No, I
But then
don't know, I
he'd
guess
revive
maybe-
Rachel.
maybe
So
it
how do you
wasn't-
feel about that?
Oh, this is true.
Loophole.
No, I don't know.
For
Maybe
the
I was
audience,
paying very
Rachel
close
only likes
attention.
people who die in real life.
It's
Which is
true.
weird to say.
It is so true. It's scary. I just maybe I wasn't paying very close attention.
I
to
don't
the
disagree with
interaction,
your
but I didn't
instinct.
see-
It's a
Yeah.
very small scene.
She's giving him a pep
just
talk
didn't
about
see
how
it
he's
as
treating
well.
the
Yeah.
situation, and
He's like,
But-
my family's falling apart.
everything's falling apart.
Yeah, everything's falling. But then she's just like being a bartender. She's like, chin up, buddy.
I don't disagree with you.
True.
I-
She's a babe though, and he's hot grandpa, so it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
why not? You
Yeah, they're
know?
both
Yeah.
babes.
Babe
He you know what?
bartender and hot grandpa.
Let's add another log to that fire because Nella is the one who instantly calls Dana when
Yes.
M
She clearly
is in
has a
that fight.
relationship with their family.
Yeah.
We just haven't explored.
Doesn't
it yet.
call Wayne for specific reasons because he's crazy. But like she likes
She
him,
knows.
but she's
she knows
She's
what to do.
crazy.
She's like, okay, if I'm gonna get Em out of this without getting her in trouble, then I'm gonna call her sister.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Read the
Call
last
Dana.
few things from the chat and we'll sign off.
Okay. Luke says thanks so much for watching and supporting the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing
What are
up,
you
Luke.
doing
Say
here?
hi to your wife for me because she's an amazing supporter of your
You're
work.
so sweet. Excited to see what y'all think going forward. So thank you, one,
Yay.
for being here.
Thank
Two, we're excited.
Yes.
It's fun. It's fun, and we like it.
It's so much fun.
And then, so there's that podcast. Says this show is everything. Like Luke said, no spoilers. I'll make sure to refresh on the current episode the next time you do this. Well,
Thank you.
well, that leads us into, if you want to make sure that you know all the hot goss and what's happening with us, then you should go ahead and head on over to ko-fi.com/squawking-dead, and Dave will give you the rest of that spiel.
Well, like I should have said in the beginning, you could always tip us using the QR code on your screen or heading on over to ko-fi.com/squawking-dead. When you do, you'll get our My Pre-Squawk Insights, which I still haven't submitted for the last several episodes that we did live. Well, hypothetically, you could for the last 30 days, for up to 30 days. If you want to take your support further, head over to ko-fi.com/what is happening. What? Why?
Nothing. Keep going. Keep going.
Take your support further and join a membership tier on either ko-fi.com/squawkingdead or patreon.com/squawkingdead. When you do, you'll get even more access to our Discord than just tipping, because it's all forever access to our Discord. Join the Whispers, Survivors, or Great M tier. Those tiers will change, and you will get a free classic t-shirt when you sign up. If you happen to join the Great M or Survivors tier, you will be able to join us on screen with us, letting us know your thoughts alongside us with your face, head, mic, mouth. I love that for us. And if you happen to join the Great MT or the Greatest Ish tier, you can join us in our core channel, telling us what's what, telling us what to do, and we can't say boo because you're a junior producer, and that's how that works. I'm been your host, David Cameo, and I was joined by
CosmoMom09.
And Bridget. You can find me at ko-fi.com/punkybrewster. That's PUNKYBRUISETER. And also thank you to So There's That Podcast for also being here.
that's right, Givenchy.
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
a Jacqueline
And-
of all trades.
And
Thank you.
Luke Boyce. Thank
Luke
you.
Boyce, writer,
And-
creator, showrunner of Revival.
And the other mystery 4 people, because we were all the way up
We'll
to like
never know.
7 at one
okay.
point.
We'll never know.
So there were some lingerers.
We're
some
still in the single
silent-
digits. I don't know if
some
we want to
silent
advertise that.
observers.
Yeah, she's excited.
We're in the
It's
high
okay.
amount of 7 people, 2 of which are you, by the way, just so you know.
That's why I said like 4.
Two of them are me and Rachel.
Wait, if I open another tab up here, that'll give us another.
I don't think that's how that works. Any case, we'll see you real soon, everybody. Take care.
got
Can't wait to talk about this
thousands
episode
of
next week,
tabs
which will probably be Monday night, I think. Maybe Monday night next
No.
week live. Tuesday night
not
next week
Monday.
live.
Tuesday. Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Which will be
Monday.
episode 3 of this amazing series that we're loving.
Yes,
so
it'll
far.
have to be Tuesday because I cannot do Wednesday.
It was very ominous. Take care, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.